my presentation is called The Two Most Important Gases in Ireland. So back in the day, we loved to burn stuff to produce electricity. And that was lots of natural gas and some coal. But recently, we figured out that burning things is not the best for the environment. So we've been working very hard as a member of the European Union to try and integrate more renewable energy into our power system. And here in Ireland, that's wind, because we're a very windy place and we've got lots of good sites to build wind farms. So we'll keep building wind farms out to 2020 and beyond. Happy days, problem solved. Well, not really. You see, when you rely on wind, it brings its own unique problems. And that's mainly due to the resource itself. Because if Mother Nature's in here tonight and has a few too many cocktails, and she doesn't want a windy day tomorrow, then there's nothing we can do about it. And if she does fancy having a windy day tomorrow, then we have absolutely no control over when, where, and how much wind actually turns up. But never fear, we've got lots of natural gas power plants lying around, and they swoop in and save the day. You see, gas-fired generation, it's like it responds very quickly to changes in the system. So gas-fired generation here in Ireland represents around 60% of our installed capacity, and it's like the Usain Bolt of the power generation world. So when we have big random output changes in our wind farms, it's natural gas that changes its output extremely quickly to make sure we have the right balance between supply and demand. And as the renewable energy penetration continues to increase to hit our targets at a European level, the importance of fast-acting gas plant become almost a necessity. And this is where my research area lies. So far in my PhD, I've looked at the impact that wind power has had on the output from gas-fired generation, and I've noticed two main things. Firstly, the overall output from all our gas generators has decreased in the presence of increasing renewable energy. And secondly, and much more importantly, or interestingly on my behalf, I've found that the variability of this output has increased dramatically. But in order for us to get an output from our gas generators, we need to have an input. And this input, you can probably guess, is the natural gas itself. But we're not very lucky here in Ireland. We don't have a natural gas well down the road from all of our power stations. So we rely on pipeline infrastructure, and we import around 93% of our demand from our friends in Scotland via 3 subsea pipelines that all come from the one place and all end up in 3 different places on the east coast of Ireland. Now, that sounds all well and good, but gas only travels at around 20 miles an hour in these pipelines, and there's only a certain amount of gas that we can ram down these pipelines in a certain day because things have a habit of going bang at high pressures. So, and we kind of want to avoid that at all costs. The ability of our gas generating units to respond to the variation on our wind plants is not down to the actual units themselves, but it's to do with the amount of gas that we have in our gas transmission system and how flexible that system actually is. And that's the second half of my PhD. That's what I focus on. I focus on making sure that we are able to get the right amount of gas in the right place at the right time so we can continue to have competitions like this and keep the lights on. So, thank you very much.